T
The
minus,
big day.
yes, T minus 43 minutes for the toss at Pallekele, India versus Pakistan. But before cricket, we are going to play a game of hide and seek.
Okay.
Yeah, because the weather at this point in time in Pallekele is playing hide and seek at this point in
Is
time.
it not good?
Oh, so the entire ground is
About
covered,
17 minutes ago, Nikhil had done a live from Pallekele. And that time, he was having a chat with the MS Dhoni superfan, Ram Babu. There was no rain. Absolutely no rain. Now there is a drizzle at the moment in Pallekele and the entire ground is covered.
That's bad news for now.
Not really, because see, your toss is at 2:30.
I know, but still, you don't want that risk of having rain on your field because
Well,
it just changes everything, right?
But that's why in Sri Lanka they end up covering the entire ground,
Oh,
which
they
is a good
did?
thing. Yes,
That's
yes,
a great thing
I
then.
mean, Sri Lanka, if I have to look at, I have to rate the best ground staff in the world. Sri Lanka is right up there because they know the weather. They are not taking any chances, even if the drizzle makes the outfield wet. No, we are going to cover the entire. So
That's
that
good.
nothing is left to chance. Nothing is left to chance. And that's why, even if the rain stops, even if you have a heaviest of heavy, like Cherrapunji like downpours, the ground will be ready within 15 minutes.
That's great. Shouldn't that be done everywhere? Just cover
Yes,
the whole ground. Why
Well,
do we do
Kolkata
that?
followed Sri Lanka's example because remember, they covered only one particular, 75% of the ground was covered in the India-South Africa match in 2015. One patch. Because of one patch, they had to abandon the whole match.
Yeah.
And Saurav Ganguly then said, no, we are going to cover the entire outfield like how Sri Lanka does. And voila, ever since you have had rain, Kolkata matches never get abandoned because they cover the entire outfield.
Something similar
case of
happened,
the
I think, in
5G.
the Ireland game, right? Only one patch near
Yeah.
the run-up
final.
there was a lot of puddle over there.
Yeah, the final T20.
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
just a bit of puddle there, and there was some, wet patches.
Yeah.
And everywhere else, the sun was out, and sun is shining bright.
Yeah, but because of that one patch,
Yeah, right.
the game
Yeah,
had to
the
be
worst in the
called
world,
off.
we have-
Called off.
It had poured. It had poured
Yeah.
at Dublin at that point.
Exactly.
So that's why. See, whenever there is rain, cover the entire outfield. Something that the England board, something that the Australian board, New Zealand board, South
need
Africa
on
board, they
board.
all need to take that idea
Yeah.
on board. Because it doesn't make sense just cover one particular patch when you know
Doesn't.
that
You think it's common sense, right?
Yeah, you would, but not really applied.
not really
Are the
applied.
covers really expensive or something?
No. How much would a tarpaulin sheet? a
I
very
don't
thick
know.
tarpaulin sheet
I'm just
cost?
trying to make a reason
Because
for
it won't
it.
cost millions or billions to the board.
Exactly.
I mean, a huge tarpaulin sheet at this point in time would be massively about 20 to 30,000, and you're going to have get 8 to 10 tarpaulin sheets.
Yeah.
So 3 lakhs at most. Why not? So before I come to all this, and remember, we'll be getting you live updates from Pallekele from 2 o'clock
Yes.
onwards. Nikhil has been giving you 2 updates from Pallekele, one in the morning about the weather, one recent just about 20 minutes back. And again, let us tell you one thing. Pallekele is in a strange rain shadow area. Kandy,
Yeah.
it will be pouring. It will absolutely be pouring in Kandy. But in Pallekele, it will just be a drizzle. It's like Gurgaon and Noida within 2 sides of Delhi. Strange weather there, strange weather here. It will be pouring in Gurgaon side. Here, absolutely
Even
dry.
in Gurgaon itself, there are certain places where it doesn't rain, even if there's like rivers flowing anywhere else. I don't understand.
So it's a very strange rain shadow area that we are having.
Yeah.
So the delay might not be that big. So before we get to the live updates from Pallekele, I'll throw the floor open and ask, what's your first favorite India-Pakistan memory, Garvi?
Let's go.
Yeah?
The most recent one, of course, Virat
2022
Kohli. Yeah,
MCG.
of course,
Okay,
of
yeah.
course.
I mean, you can't
Nothing
doubt
beats that. Everything else before that, I mean, Virat Kohli's knock takes the win because that, like you said yesterday, it was an otherworldly batting. You know, what were those shots? Where did they come from? Not
Yeah.
even Virat Kohli can explain at this point.
I mean, one guy did it much before Virat Kohli. That was Jethalal. You check out this video. Man, the similar kind of a shot. Just check the shot that he hits down the ground and check the Kohli shot. It's uncannily similar.
Jethalal's.
Yeah, and see, it is arch rivals.
Yeah.
India versus Pakistan. Arch rival for Jethalal is Iyer. So he pulls that ball, pot down the ground. Yeah, Iyer reactions like Haris Rauf. And this was 7 to 8 years prior to the Kohli shot.
Is Tarak Mehta ka Ulta Chashma our Simpsons India that predicts everything?
Could be. Okay, Gargi has stated that her 2022 MCG nog India versus Pakistan, the Kohli nog in particular was the favorite. Shane, what's yours?
2007 World T20 final.
Of course. No, but then if I have to restrict it to ODIs, because it's an ODI format.
And ODIs, then I would probably say, I don't know, which was the most dominant win that India had?
You can say 2019 ODI World Cup, 2011.
I like 11. 11 was very fun. Because that match had everything. There was a lot of ebb and flow drama also, because at one point, it genuinely looked like Misbah could have actually pulled things off. And also, wait, how does the ODI restriction work for me?
I just
no, I will to ODI. T20 I can understand, but ODI.
ODI, not the generation of ODIs.
I know.
Yeah, not
they have played very I mean, I don't blame her. It's after 4 years that you've had an ODI match between India and Pakistan.
Obviously.
2019 was the last time you played.
And that was a very one-sided boring
I'm
match.
trying to remember an iconic game, but I can't.
A lot of them actually came in the 80s.
For me, the best time, I mean, I've been through a lot of India-Pakistan matches from 86 onwards till now. But for me, my best match and the tension that was prevalent at that time can't go beyond 2003. Centurion. Sachin Tendulkar, 98.
No idea.
I mean, 273 that Pakistan made. You had a bowling attack of Shoaib, Wasim, Waqar, Abdul Razak, and you had Shahid Afridi. Oh boy.
At that point was actually a youngster.
Yes, who was?
He's forever a youngster, that's a different
And Tendulkar's epic uppercut of Shoaib Akhtar.
In fact, that match I remember, you're right. Actually, if you go back in time, 2003 was one very ebb and flow match because again, you had Syed Anwar, if I'm not wrong, hit a
last match against India.
And it was a very good knock. And mind you, at that point, the streak and all wasn't really so much as a thing. But 273 odd to chase down
that against that bowling lineup.
Exactly, that bowling. And Wasim Waqar, you
Shoaib,
had Shoaib and
Abdul
Shoaib.
Razak.
Exactly, and you had Shoaib in his absolute prime.
Yep.
Who would be bowling 150 thunderbolts for fun.
Yep.
And thereafter to beat that side,
If you want to go back to even further, I would say 1997, but that wasn't an Asia Cup encounter. Syed Anwar, the same was 194 in Chennai.
Actually, if you're picking Asia Cup encounter, then there's that one, I think, where Harbhajan was hitting.
He hit Amir and Akhtar for 2 sixes.
Yeah, that was
in Dambulla.
Yeah, it was Dambulla.
Which was the last time India and Pakistan played in Sri Lanka.
Wow.
That was 13 years ago.
Someone in the comment points out that India has never won an ODI at Pallekele.
Of course, we have won 3 ODIs.
Never lost. My bad.
I know. Yeah. India won 3 matches in Pallekele, if I'm not mistaken. But if you talk about India versus Pakistan in Sri Lanka, it is 1-1 at this point. India, the first game they played in 97, washed out. 2004, Pakistan won, but that was a very controversial loss or win, by the way, because India had to avoid a bonus point. The target was 241. They got 241. And Pakistan got eliminated despite winning. Then 2010, as Shane pointed out, Harbhajan Singh just shouting on and Shoaib Akhtar.
That was very iconic.
Then, slightly controversial 2014. Shahid Afridi hitting Ashwin for 2 sixes at Dhaka.
I mean, for that matter, if you're looking at matches which really changed the tide and don't look at it necessarily from an India perspective, I'd say 2017. 17, the Champions Trophy final, I think it really got the monkey of Pakistan's back. Because at that point, I think that streak snapped of them losing an ICC tournament constantly. Once they did that, don't forget, 2019 was a bit of an aberration, but again, 2021, they beat you by 10 wickets. 2022, both the Asia Cup and the World Cup, India is going for very close.
Very close.
Very close. Exactly. I think that was like a switch. Things changed for Pakistan cricket after that.
Exactly. So, because of that, this India versus Pakistan contest has been much anticipated because their previous encounter was on a knife edge at Melbourne.
But you would say the last 3 encounters, because even if you look at it,
Asia Cup, both games
were very close.
Last over finishes. But this is an ODI.
And they've been played in ODI for what feels like forever at this point, 2019. And that was a very different Pakistan team. Very, very different Pakistan team.
You had Wahab, you had Hassan Ali.
That's Safi Bhai.
The
captain.
You had Shadab. Sarfraz. But here, see, Pakistan have already announced the playing 11. Yesterday night they announced no changes. Which could mean 2 things. Stability If you look at the positive and negative, they probably don't have any backups.
I don't think they were going to change that.
No,
Yeah.
I think they're just
anyway.
playing with their best 11 at this point.
Yeah,
Because if it's conditions, if it's spin friendly, third spinner may be Iftikhar.
yeah, 100% if they go.
But they don't have any other spinner apart from that if you look at it.
Not even the reserves.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have a backup. That's the thing. Their two spinners, otherwise their main spinners are Mohammad Nawaz and Shahbaz Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fakhar Zaman can roll his left arm orthodox over, but again, he's not a proper bowler.
Proper bowler.
2017 Champions Trophy final.
Exactly. That's
When
the
Hardik hit him for 3 sixes.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so in that way, see, Pakistan, you can look at it stable, pick the 5 best bowlers, forget conditions, you have to go in with the 5.
They have a backup, of course, in the pace bowling department if something happens to one of their pacers in Wasim Junior.
Yeah. Spinners are a bit of an Achilles heel. That's why I said India's spinners are much better than Pakistan's spinners. But the pace bowling is on equal terms.
Yeah, but of course, I think today, by the way, this is the first ODI that India will be playing with a full strength team, notwithstanding KL Rahul. But I think what you're going to see today, depending on, we'll know now, we'll have a clearer indication of whether they'll go with 7 batters and pick their 3 strongest pacers, or are they going to pick only 2 pacers
With
and
Hardik Pandya or
being the
Shardul.
third? No, Shardul will then be the one of the 2 pacers.
Pacers.
Because that's what I'm saying. I think today. Oh, and we'll be joined by Nikhil now with live updates from
Pallekele. Let's go.
Yep.
It's not raining here. Yes, it's cloudy. You've got the grey skies above me. It is expected to rain later in the day, they say. But the good news is it hasn't rained at all since the beginning of this day in Pallekele. And it's expected to start on time. So that's the good news. You might see that the ground right now, if you're watching live visuals, you might just see the ground covered. But that's a precautionary step that they've taken. Right now, it's completely dry. At best, what you call the rain that is happening right now is spitting. It's not even a drizzle, it's less than that. So in fact, if it was to stay like this, the game should start on time. In fact, I was here yesterday throughout the duration of the day for a good 7 hours, and it was not raining. It remained overcast. Grey clouds were there, but it did not rain. So that's great news if you are getting up to watching that India versus Pakistan encounter, which starts at 3 p.m. Indian Standard Time. The update that we're giving you right now is that it is expected to start on right time. In fact, the first inning you might even see uninterrupted. What happens later, we'll keep updating you. So let's now get down to business. Let's take a look at the strategies, the playing 11, weather update I've already given you. Sunny Gavaskar will be joining us live on the program. We'll also take you to various parts of the country and try and gauge the reaction of the fans there, how they are prepping up to watching this very crucial encounter. But first, let's quickly listen in to the 2 captains, Rohit Sharma, Babar Azam. They came yesterday, spoke to the press, and this is what they had to say about this crucial game.
What have you got, Nawaz? Ashwin?
So we have the weather update and it's not raining right now. I think that's great news for India. But looking at Nikhil sir's screen, looking at the background, it does look like it's a bit dark and there could be a few clouds over, but that's just Sri Lanka, right?
No, that is the central part of Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And again, let me tell you, since I've been in the past there, the weather is much more pronounced in Colombo. You know that if it rains in Colombo, it rains entire of Colombo. But this is Pallekele, which is about 20 to 25 kilometers away from Kandy, proper Kandy Central. It's on the other side of the hill there. So, if it's raining in Kandy, most likely about 9 out of 10 times it won't rain in Pallekele. It will just be a very slight drizzle, and that too not enough to trouble them. So that's why the weather update is as per the trends in Sri Lanka, central Sri Lanka at this time. Like so Dambulla, Pallekele, all these areas, they don't get that much of rain. So that's why most of the times you remember there were matches in Dambulla.
Yeah.
Because to avoid the rain in Colombo, Galle and all those other cities, that's why they said, let's play in these 2. And it was a good initiative that was started by Thilan Sumatipala, the former Sri Lanka cricket board chief. Let's organize matches in Dambulla. But problem with Dambulla, later it became mired in corruption. Then the floodlights also were an issue because it didn't adhere to a certain height. So if the ball went up in the air, same like Mohali, you would struggle to catch it. So that's why some floodlighting issues in Dambulla at that time. So, yep, positive update. No rain in Pallekele. We will start mostly on time. And that is why it's going to be a very, very important toss to win. Because if the team who wins, what do you think? They will bat second, right? Looking
100%. With the way the weather is, you have to be looking to chase.
Yep.
Because that gives you an advantage. You don't know what the conditions are going to be like entirely. Let the other team go there and figure it out.
At least then you'll know the DLS.
Plus, and not just that, India also, if they win the toss, then 100% chase because they're just a better chasing team.
Exactly.
Yep. You got Kohli, you got Rohit, you've got Shubman, and Shreyas Iyer is also coming back. So
It will be very, very key on a track like this, which is going to be a little on the slower side.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But before we cut to Pallekele, there was a comment that you made on Mohammad Siraj and pace combination, right? Pace spinner. Prithvi Patnaik. Baban. He's saying if Siraj does not play today, I would turn off my TV. Yikes. Wow. For India, Pakistan. Wow. India will lose 100%. That's why he has to play today.
I mean, if I agree with you, Prithvi Patnaik, because I think I would play him over Shami.
Yeah,
I would.
Same here.
Yes. You would?
Yes, I would.
See, my 11, I will already say what it is. It should be ideal.
Ideally.
Rohit, Shubman, Virat, Shreyas, and then you got Ishan. He will have to bat at 5.
Has to bat at 5.
Because you make that adjustment to opening. Everybody else is batting out of position.
Correct.
Okay. So
that pressure will be doubled when you consider the fact that this game comes exactly a month before the big Cricket World Cup. So in the sense, this is the start of the road to the Cricket World Cup. Whatever happens here will have a bearing on how these two teams perform at the cricket's biggest showpiece event. This is Nikhil Naz at the Pallekele International Stadium for India Today. All right, you heard from both the captains talking about India versus Pakistan encounter. And while all the talk was around the pressure in these such crucial clashes, what both captains reiterated was the fact that they have a bigger tournament to play. It's the Asia Cup that they're looking at. And possibly India-Pakistan will, of course, clash for the second time, may possibly clash for the third time in this particular tournament before they take on each other in that crucial World Cup game. So they want to look at the macro picture, both captains, the tournament, and not just specific to this India versus Pakistan encounter. Just to let you know, this is right behind me, the Pallekele International Stadium. This is the entry. And just a short while ago, we had the Indian team bus about 15-20 minutes ago go past this gate to the other gate, which is right there, which is where the teams have entered from. About 10 minutes after the Indian team, the Pakistan team bus has also just crossed from here. So both teams are at ground, which is an indication that you are going to see a start on time. As I speak, there is a slight drizzle, a very slight drizzle, but I don't think it's the kind of drizzle that is going to push a game late or delay the toss. It doesn't seem to be that sort of a drizzle. It's what you call spitting that's happening at the moment. That is a common feature that we get to see in Pallekele here. And that is what is going to continue to happen through the day. It should not have any impact on the match. You can see a lot of fans turning up. Pakistani fans, you can see the Indian tricolor right behind me. So for the last 1 hour or so, lots of fans turning up. And I caught up with a few fans just a few minutes ago, both from India and from Pakistan. And these are their thoughts. कैंडी में सुबह से बारिश हो रही थी, मैंने लगातार आपको लाइव रिपोर्ट्स भेजी, लेकिन पलकेले में फिलहाल बारिश नहीं हो रही, हल्की सी बूंदाबांदी वो भी अभी शुरू हुई है. मैं यहाँ करीब 15-20 मिनट से हूँ, तब तो बिल्कुल ड्राई था, अभी हल्की सी बूंदाबांदी है. आप ऊपर आसमान में देखेंगे तो काले बादल हैं, घने काले बादल हैं, थ्रेटनिंग क्लाउड्स हैं, जिनसे लगता है कि बारिश हो सकती है. लेकिन कल भी मैं यहाँ था पूरे दिन, करीब 3 बजे से लेकर 10 बजे तक, तो उन 7 घंटों में भी इसी तरह के हालात थे, लेकिन बारिश बहुत कम हुई थी. ज्यादा से ज्यादा इस तरह से हुई थी, इतनी बारिश जिससे मैच नहीं रुकता, उस तरह की बारिश आपको पलेकल में देखने को मिलती है. कैंडी में ज्यादा बारिश होती है, तो ये अच्छा संकेत है. अगर थोड़ी बारिश होती भी है तो कुछ समय के लिए मैच रुकेगा, ज्यादा समय के लिए नहीं. फिलहाल मैं आपको माहौल दिखा दूं कि देखिए फैंस तो यहाँ आ गए सारे. इनको तो आप पहचानते होंगे, इनको आप पहचानते हैं, हर जगह पहुंच जाते हैं. इंडिया के बहुत बड़े फैन हैं, MS धोनी के बहुत बड़े फैन हैं. क्या होगा भी आज? बिल्कुल जी, पूरा जोश है और हम यहाँ बाहर से ही बोल रहे हैं यार. आप ही बुलंद है, आप तो अकेले ही काफी हैं बहुत पाकिस्तानी. बिल्कुल पाजी, बिल्कुल यार, वन मैन आर्मी. धोनी पाजी, धोनी पाजी भी तो आए. चलिए, धोनी नहीं है पर धोनी के फैंस की कमी नहीं है, जैसे आपने देखा इनको आप जानते हैं। पर आपसे एक आपका जो लिबास है ना, मुझे बहुत पसंद आया। ये आप मुझे थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन करेंगे, ये क्या है? ये टोपी के मतलब कहाँ से आती है ये?
यानी कि ये मेरी 2 फुट लंबी हाइट की कैप है और जितनी ऊंची शान मेरे पाकिस्तान की है उतनी बड़ी मैं कैप बनवाता हूँ। मैं पूरे दुनिया में पाकिस्तान को रिप्रेजेंट करता हूँ। ये मेरा एक अलग गेटअप है और अरबी मैंने लिबास पहनता हूँ जो मुझे पसंद है।
What do you reckon? Have you spoken to the rain gods? Have you been praying since morning? Have your prayers be answered?
आज मत आइयो, कल आ जाइयो, लेकिन आज मत आइयो। बारिश आप मत आइयो।
नहीं आएगी कि आएगी? आपको क्या लगा?
नहीं आएगी।
क्या है?
गट तो है कि आएगी, but I'm always on the other side, you know. I have a feeling because there's something.
मैच होगा। यार ये आपकी टोपी मुझे बड़ी अच्छी लगी है। इनकी मैं टोपी आपको दिखाता हूँ। एक तरफ देखिए पाकिस्तान फ्लैग है, दूसरी तरफ इंडिया का फ्लैग लगा है।
फ्रेंडशिप है, क्रिकेट की जीत होनी चाहिए, दोस्ती की जीत होनी चाहिए।
आई लव योर हैट। इनके हैट पे देखिए लिखा है हैंड्स ऑफ फ्रेंडशिप। इन्होंने टोपी बड़ी अच्छी सी बनाई हुई है। पाकिस्तान का फ्लैग है, एक तरफ इंडिया का फ्लैग है। आइडिया क्या था इसके पीछे?
दोस्ती, अमन। क्रिकेट हमेशा प्रमोट करता है पीस को।
वो सबसे यही होगा कि इंडिया जीतेगा। अगर बाय चांस वी डोंट विन, दैट द चांसेस आर वेरी लेस, तो 10th को देख लेंगे।
10th को देख लेंगे।
यस यस यस, बट मौका इस बारी टीम बराबर है। इस टाइम 50-50 है, देयर इज नो 49-50 एंड ऑफ कोर्स वी ऑल फ्रॉम इंडिया हैव कम हियर टू सपोर्ट आवर टीम। जीते हारे क्रिकेट शुड विन और टीम इंडिया 101% will win.
Okay, coming to you live from the Pallekele International Stadium in central Sri Lanka. India versus Pakistan. Less than an hour to go from now. You can hear the drones beating behind me. You can see the Indian tricolor. You can even see some Pakistani flag as the fans start to trickle inside the stadium. They've been coming in hordes for the last hour or so that I've been here. The good news once again, no rain so far. Let's also take you across to India and try and find out how the fans in India are gearing up to watching this particular encounter. Let's take you to Mumbai first. Mustafa, my colleague, joins us from Mumbai. Mustafa, tell us what you see around you at the moment. Okay, we'll try and take you to Mustafa in a short while from now. Let's take you to Patna. Aditya Vaibhav now joins us live from there. Aditya, can you feel the excitement around you? Are fans looking forward?
Well, exactly, Nikhil. As far as Patna is concerned, you can clearly see that the children out here, they are totally excited and they are carrying the tricolor as well as, and they are chanting for Team India. We'll try to talk to some of them and try to understand what do they hope for this match. क्या लगता है, क्या होना है?
होना क्या है, इंडिया जीत जाएगा।
आप लोग इसी के लिए यहाँ चैंटिंग कर रहे हैं।
हाँ,
आप बताएं क्या उम्मीद है, इसके पहले क्या हुआ है और पाकिस्तान से किस प्लेयर को ज्यादा फोकस करने की जरूरत है इंडिया टीम को?
इंडिया टीम को सारे प्लेयर को फोकस करने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि इंडिया और पाकिस्तान का मैच होता है तो मतलब टक्कर का मुकाबला होता है, तो इंडिया के 11 प्लेयर को मतलब पूरा 110% देना होगा, तभी इंडिया जीत पाएगी।
So that being said, you can clearly see in the visuals that the children out here, they are totally excited and they are also wearing cricket gear and also they are making chantings for the victory of India. And interesting to note here is the fact that Saturday has been quite eventful as far as the entire sequence is concerned. But then you can clearly see that the excitement categorically prevails.
Okay, Aditya, thank you so much for those updates from Patna. Yes, you could, I'm miles away from you in a different country, but I can feel that excitement even that you're feeling at the moment in Patna. Of course, the excitement here in Sri Lanka is clearly just next level, because this is where the live action is going to start in a short while from now. Okay, Savai Raj, my colleague from Bangalore, also joins us live. Savai Raj, tell us, I know Bangaloreans love their cricket. They treat Virat Kohli as their very own. How's it in Bangalore at the moment?
Yeah, Virat Kohli is our own, and he's our Bengaluru boy for the people, especially the RCB fans. We are at Karnataka Institute of Cricket, and we have seen that people are quite excited. We are with a few budding cricketers here, and she plays for Pondicherry State, if I'm not wrong. How excited we are? Who are the players that you have to look forward for in this India-Pakistan match?
I mean, I'm obviously super excited about India-Pakistan game. I am especially waiting to watch the man India. He always manages to steal the show, so I'm very excited to see what he has to deliver today.
Comeback man Bumrah.
Bumrah definitely comeback man Bumrah. Very excited to see him.
Who else will have an impact on this in this
I
match?
think Shaheen Afridi also. I think I am looking forward to watch him bowl as well.
Okay. And how excited you are? Who's your favorite player?
Actually, I'm so excited to watch the deadly trio, Shami, Bumrah and Siraj. So I'm so excited to watch Bumrah's comeback.
Okay. Who's your favorite player?
It's Rohit Sharma. I'm waiting for his, he's a doubleton man. I'm waiting for his doubleton again. So hope he plays well. And of course, yes, man of the hour, as Likidi said, Virat Kohli. And Pakistan also has a stronger side. Like we have Nazim Shah, Haris Rauf and people like that. So yeah, it's going to be a great contest. So India and Pakistan, like always an exciting match to watch. So hope for the best.
And do you think that this excitement will remain till the World Cup as well? You have a bigger match in Ahmedabad, and this is just a beginning of that.
Definitely. I do agree to that. I think this could set a good platform for the Indian team for the upcoming World Cup games.
Do you think Virat Kohli is going to perform, our Bengaluru man, RCB man?
Definitely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see him smash the Pakistani bowlers all over the stadium.
And people will still remember the 2020 match which was being played in Australia, Melbourne.
Yeah, of course, they will remember that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, definitely India will win
Okay.
this time.
Uh-huh.
We will look for our best.
Okay, remember last time when India played against Pakistan, Virat Kohli was a man of the hour at that point of time who helped India to win the match. And definitely even this time, our RCB and our local man, Virat Kohli, will be one of the players who have to be looked out in this particular match. And that's what the people are going to cheer here from Bengaluru.
Jai Hind. Jai Hind. Jai Hind.
Okay.
Shivairaj, we've got now lots of Indian fans. Right. Just let me show you. Thailand. Okay. Okay. Come here to film it. Okay. Yes, let me see the India flag. Let me see. Let me see the India. You got some special songs? What are you going to play when you're there?
विरोल भाई भारत हमको जान से प्यारा है सबसे प्यारा हिंदुस्तान हमारा मेरा रंग जब बसंती छो मेरा रंग बसंती छो तेरे जीतेगा भाई जीतेगा
Runs कौन बनाने वाला? Who's going to be getting the runs?
विराट
Okay.
Shubman Gill
Okay.
and Hitman
Man.
Yes. I would say time and again, Virat is such a big match player, especially against Pakistanis. Melbourne saw history getting created. Eden Gardens saw history getting created. And the big matches bring Virat's best pressure out. I think Siraj along with Virat will be the game changers in today's game.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Have a good game.
Thank you. जिस देश का नेता मोदी जी हो तो वो जीतेगा ही.
Okay, thank you so much.
माता की जय हो.
Have a good game.
गणपति बप्पा बोरिया. गणपति बप्पा.
Okay, you can see the excitement levels. I'll only advise them
Silent
to keep that energy going. You will need more of that energy. Okay, great.
But
I'm live right now. I'm live right now.
yes.
So I just advise them that I hope they can keep their energy going. At the moment, you can see it's all building up right behind me. India versus Pakistan. Lots of fans right there. You all heading towards the stadium. You can even see a lot of Pakistani fans also here. Sunny Gavaskar joins us live as well as Harbhajan Singh. So let's just break down the game with Mr. Gavaskar and Harbhajan. Sunny bhai, let's start with the conditions here. What I can report live from Pallekele, that it's overcast but no rain as of now. We saw that game that took place here, that one match that has happened in the tournament so far between Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. It was a spin-friendly track. not really assisting stroke makers. How do you see this particular aspect of this ground play out today?
It won't matter that much because look, both the teams will rely mainly on their new ball attack. Both the teams have a terrific new ball attack, so I would imagine that they would depend more on their
Babu, come.
new ball attack.
1 minute. Interview this guy. Babu, come.
I'm live.
Hello, Babu, live है. जीतेगा, जीतेगा.
Okay, I think we're having a bit of an issue with Mr. Gavaskar's line at the moment. We'll try and rectify that, fix that, and bring Mr. Gavaskar back live on the broadcast. But Harbhajan Singh is also there with us. Harbhajan, what do you reckon? The same question that I asked Mr. Gavaskar. Looking at the conditions here, they aren't really very conducive to a lot of stroke play. You are not going to see a lot of big totals here. Which team does that favor more?
Well, I really don't know, to be honest, what all the condition will be. Condition might change. You never know whether Team India will be served the same pitch or will it be a different pitch altogether. Because it's an India-Pakistan game. People would like to see the runs has been scored from both the side. And of course, that's what I believe, that pitch will be different, pitch will be better. So keeping that in mind, I think... India have got brilliant batting lineup. There's no doubt about it. But on the other side, when we look at Pakistan, they have got brilliant bowling lineup. So it's a great sort of a match, where Indian batters will be tested by the Pakistani fast bowlers, and it's vice versa. So, it's a match which is always going to be a big one. And India-Pakistan is always a pressure game. So I hope that India team win the toss and, get that early momentum. That's all I can say. That early momentum will help them to get the right result.
Okay, you heard it from Harbhajan Singh. He says that maybe you'll get a very different pitch now for this particular encounter than the one that you saw in that Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh game. Sahiba, sorry, we lost your line earlier, so I'll try and take that question to you. I asked that to Harbhajan about the slow conditions here. If they are to be like that, which team will it favor more?
Well, you've got to go with your strength. What is your bowling strength? And I think both the teams understand that their bowling strength is the new ball attack. They're fast bowlers. So I don't think they'll be thinking too much about the pitch. They'll only be thinking about picking the best possible options who will take wickets and contain the batter. And with that in view, I don't see the spinners getting much of a role in the sense, yes, of course, somebody like a Jadeja will come in pretty handy. Maybe, even Kuldeep Yadav will get the ball to turn. Being a wrist spinner, doesn't matter what the surface is. Wrist spinners get the ball to turn on any surface. So my feeling is that it'll probably be still the new ball attack that will dominate for as far as both the teams are concerned.
Okay. Harbhajan, we were looking at the record between the two teams. In recent time, we just saw, I'm just taking a look at the last 4 encounters, and it's even Stevens, 2 to India, 2 to Pakistan. With that in mind, who do you think has the edge right now going into this encounter?
Well, I think both the team have the edge. Last when they met was in the World Cup. That was in England in 19. So now they're meeting in 50 overs format after almost 4 years time. And, it's a match which always, people will remember for nerves. I've played a lot of India-Pakistan games. So basically it'll come down to the nerves. Team which, hold their nerves better than the others will come as a champion. So I hope it's India.
Okay, I can understand Harbhajan Singh really not sticking his neck out because he knows it's going to be a close encounter. Sahiba, I take that question to you. Last decade or so, or till at least a few years ago, we saw that there was a gulf between the Indian and the Pakistan team. The Indian team seemed to be having a wood over the Pakistan team. Do you think that scenario has kind of changed in the last couple of years, as we just spoke about? It's 2-all. From that 2021 T20 World Cup in the games that they've played, the 4 games across formats, it's 2-all. Do you think that edge has now gone that India had and they were clearly ahead in comparison to Pakistan? Now it's a 50-50 contest when these two teams meet?
Oh yes, I think perhaps the turnaround started in that Champions Trophy final where India against Pakistan. The Pakistanis dominated, scored 300 runs after India opted to field after winning the toss. So I think that's where the scenario changed, and now you can say it's even Steven. It's a big game. It's a game that both teams know that if they win, as far as Pakistan's concerned, they're top to prove. India have to win this game, and otherwise, what will happen perhaps is that in case the match against Nepal gets washed out, and then they share points with Nepal, then India, unless they have scored really big runs in terms of net run rate, etc., might actually slip to third place. So I think this match therefore becomes very, very important, and it's a big game for both teams. But I wouldn't say the advantage lies with anybody. I think it is the team that takes its chances on the day that will come through.
That's a very interesting perspective that Mr. Gavaskar has just given. We keep talking about two India versus Pakistan encounters in this Asia Cup, possibly even the third if they play in the final. But as he points out, nothing is guaranteed. First, you have to go through the first stage. And going through that first stage, this game becomes very important, especially for India, because they play Nepal next with the weather that is around. You never know if it's a washout. It becomes a bit tricky, and then run rate then comes into play in case India were to lose this particular game. So plenty of permutation combinations still to look forward to. For the moment, we'll focus on this game. And Harbhajan, I'll come to you. One thing that we've seen, and the reason for Pakistan's recent success against India has been their fast bowlers have done very well. Now, India's top order is the key in India winning games, and quite often we've seen the fast bowling lineup of Pakistan, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Naseem Shah, Haris Rauf, get the better of those top three. Sometimes it's the top three that has got runs, sometimes they've got the wickets. How do India ensure that half an hour of madness does not happen, that half an hour of crazy play where the fast bowlers dominate and you end up losing top three? Then it becomes very tricky. How does India ensure that does not happen?
Well, I think it is simple to negotiate with the new ball with bit more carefully. Shaheen is someone who brings the ball back in, and Rohit has been getting out quite a lot on incoming balls from left-handers. So I think you need to be a bit watchful, and so is Virat Kohli and others as well. So once the new ball is seen and through, of course, then Virat, Rohit, and all the other batters can score those runs in rest of the overs. 50 overs, a lot of overs. So just negotiate. With the new ball, with the right intent. And then of course, then later on, look to score those runs.
Saibhai, that's an interesting point that Harbhajan is making. Negotiate is the word that he's using, and I'd want to pick your brains on that. Rohit Sharma in recent times has said that, we have to take the game on. We have to play aggressive cricket. We need to change the way that we are playing our white ball cricket. Do you think that approach changes when you play in these conditions in Sri Lanka? He alluded to that. He said, we'll have to draw from our experience of having played in these conditions, and then I'll leave it up to these experienced batters to then take a call. What is their approach? But do you think the more prudent way to play here in Sri Lanka is be a bit cautious, maybe play a runner ball, and then try to accelerate later in the inning rather than go hammer and tongs right at the start?
Absolutely. Because right at the top is when the Pakistani bowler strength will be seen. When they will be getting the ball to swing, the ball is harder. There'll be a little more bounce in it. So clearly, I think that is the time that you've got to be a little bit watchful. Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, all the batters, Shreyas Iyer, all these batters have that wonderful ability to make up for a slow start. If one might call it a slow start, a watchful start is probably the right word. And then they can make up for it. So clearly, I think looking to go hammer and tongs from ball one doesn't work. We have seen that in the recent Ashes series as well. You've got to be, aggressive, but smartly aggressive. And, you do that, you get the boundary ball, you by all means hit it. But, when you're looking to go over the top with the ball moving, that is where you might miss time. So you've got to be just that bit careful while the ball is moving. That's all. And don't forget, there's a new ball at either end. in a 50 overs game. So really you need to look at 5, 6, those 10 overs are the overs when you're really looking to, hit the boundaries rather than hit the sixes.
Okay, the perspective of how to play the new ball, nobody can give you better than Sunny Gavaskar, who, throughout his career played against the new ball. And that's a very interesting point that he speaks about as to, give yourself time, get ready to play a bit longer, build on that innings, and then you always have time to accelerate the run rate. In fact, Rohit Sharma said for himself that over the last couple of years, he's tried to be overly aggressive. Maybe he needs to change that and find the right balance. The word that he used was balance. So we'll see whether that change of approach is visible from the Indian team. I think even Pakistan might just opt for that particular approach at the moment. We'll be taking a break very shortly. But before I go on to that break, one question to Harbhajan. Harbhajan, the toss is going to happen shortly. We'll get to know the playing 11 in about a couple of minutes from now. Ishan Kishan most likely is going to play. If he's in the 11, which we think he will be, where do you think is the best place for him to bat?
Well, I think he'll have to bat at number 5. I think, Shreyas is making a comeback and Shreyas will bat at 4. Virat is obviously your obvious choice at number 3. But you can use him as a floating opener as well. If the wicket falls early in the first couple of overs, then you can send Ishan Kishan up the order to take care of that power play. And if you don't want to do that, then he'll have to probably bat at number 5, because then you have later on Hardik Pandya and Ravindra Jadeja as a finisher of the game, finishing the game for India.
Okay. Harbhajan Singh, Sunny Gavaskar will keep giving us those live updates. Let me quickly give you a live update from here in Pallekele as well. It started to drizzle again, but very minor drizzle at the moment. I mean, it's not even that much of a rain that I need to look for shelter. So I can even stand here, do my live with my gadgets on. So this is the kind of drizzle that you're getting here continuously. Should not hamper the toss, should not hamper play. So that's the latest update as far as the weather is concerned from Pallekele. And just as I speak, the drizzle is also disappeared. We are showing you visuals right now from Jammu, and these are our army personnel also gearing up for this India versus Pakistan clash. They've made all their preparations and they are waiting in eagerness to be watching that India versus Pakistan clash. हमने कहा है जो हमने कहा है जो तुम भी कहो. चलो next. From north to the south of India. Unfortunately, at the moment, I'm from a remote location, so I can't see those lovely visuals. But I'm happy that all our viewers right now are enjoying those visuals that we're bringing to you right from across the country. From Jammu, we're taking you to Bangalore a short while ago, to Mumbai, to Patna, everywhere. Sunny Gavaskar is still with us. Because I made that reference to the rain a bit, just try and explain to us, what is the captain thinking when there is a scenario like this? More often than not, you say in slow conditions, in a pressure game, win the toss, bat first, put up a total. But then in a situation like we have today, where it's expected to rain on and off throughout the day, and maybe rain a lot more towards the second half, and Duckworth-Lewis is going to come into play, what does the captain do then? It's in a catch-22 situation, which is the way that most captains then tend to lean.
Yes, I think if rain is predicted, then you're clearly thinking of batting second. Because, that gives you an advantage of knowing how many runs to score at what time, once the Duckworth-Lewis thing comes into play. Because, look, for an hour, you will not lose any overs. If the game is delayed by an hour, till then you don't lose any overs. After that, you start losing overs. So clearly, I think you've got to take that into account. And the fact that if it's raining, the outfield might be just a little bit slow to start with. Because the ball won't travel that much. The ball will be wet as well. But you want to look at the fact that you want to feel the first.
Okay, Saibhai, we've got an update right now from inside the stadium, and the toss has just taken place. And first moment for Indian fans to cheer because Rohit Sharma has won the toss. And interestingly, Rohit Sharma has decided to bat, and this is exactly what I was talking with Mr. Gavaskar. It's a bit of a catch-22 situation in a game where rain is expected. Do you bat second because of Duckworth Lewis? Do you bat first because you want to put up a good total on board? Sai, what do you make of Rohit's decision of batting first? And just as I speak, the sun is out for the very first time here in Pallekele.
So probably, obviously, Rohit has got a connection with the weather forecast, and so he knows that it might not rain later on, and therefore he's looking to bat first and put runs on the board. And so always runs on the board, even if it's 180 and 200, that's always pressure on the team chasing, because if they lose early wickets, then the doubts start to creep in. So I think that's probably what he wants to do against Pakistan in a big game like this. You want to bat first and put runs on the board. So not being there in Pallekele, not knowing exactly what the conditions are, I think that's the safe option to take.
Okay, Saibai, I will get back to you with our playing 11s and then get Sunny Gavaskar's thoughts on the playing 11 too. For the moment, let's take you across live to New Delhi. My colleague Nitin Srivastav is joining us live. I'm sure Delhiites, like the rest of the country, Nitin, are waiting in all eagerness for this encounter. What are the preparations that you see around you?
Well, as always, Delhi Heights are excited for this game, India versus Pakistan. And now, especially when India has opted to bowl first, I'm joined by some young cricketers, and we are expecting today that India is going to win against Pakistan because they all know and they are really aware that it is a progressive camp. As the World Cup is concerned, they also want to see Shubman Gill score, Virat Kohli, double century, Rohit Sharma, Stan, and especially Ishan Kishan because he is now in their squad. So let's talk to them and understand what exactly they are thinking about this team. So, आपका नाम क्या है?
Priyanshu Kumar.
Okay, Priyanshu, आप इंडिया पाकिस्तान एशिया कप का पहला मुकाबला भारत के लिए कितना बड़ा मुकाबला, धड़कन तेज है?
बहुत कैसे को इंडिया और पाकिस्तान बहुत ही कंट्रोवर्सी रहती है और वैसे आज इंडिया पक्का जीतेगी, डेफिनेटली जीतेगी क्योंकि विराट कोहली है। डेफिनेटली कोई टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है इंडिया को। वैसे पाकिस्तान काफी अच्छी टीम है, उनके पास बहुत अच्छे पेसर्स है, शाहीन है, नसीम है, लेकिन विराट है, उसके नीचे सबके सब है। कोई टेंशन नहीं है इंडिया को, विराट है, रोहित है, शुभमन है, आराम से जीतेगी इंडिया। बस बारिश है जो कि पाकिस्तान को बचा सकता है और कोई नहीं बचा सकता पाकिस्तान को।
लेकिन और भी होता है ना कि प्रेशर तो होता ही, ऑब्वियसली इंडिया पाकिस्तान बड़े खिलाड़ी, बड़े नाम है, इनफॉर्म प्लेयर्स है, पाकिस्तान ने भी अच्छी लाइनअप अपनी रखी हुई है, लेकिन प्रेशर और खासतौर से वर्ल्ड कप को ध्यान में रख,
डेफिनेटली एशिया कप या कोई भी हो वो हर मैच में प्रेशर अब्सॉर्ब करके रन बनाते हैं। वैसे रोहित शर्मा और वो काफी एक्सपीरियंस प्लेयर है, उनके ऊपर प्रेशर का कोई लेना देना नहीं है।
हमारे पास एक नन्ही फैन भी है, क्या नाम है आपका? गीतांजलि, आप यू वांट टू विश इंडियन टीम?
यस,
टेल देम विश देम लक।
मैं चाहती हूँ इंडिया जीते, आराम से इंडिया जीतेगी, कोहली सब सारे बॉलर घुमा के मारेंगे पाकिस्तान को।
Well, of course, that is what we also are expecting from Indian side. आपको क्या लगता है आज इंडिया की तरफ से की प्लेयर कौन होगा? विराट कोहली, रोहित शर्मा, ईशान, कौन है?
मेरे हिसाब से विराट कोहली और रोहित शर्मा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करेंगे। अगर उन्होंने अच्छे स्कोर स्टार्टिंग में स्कोर किया तो इंडिया जीत सकती है, क्योंकि दोनों टीम स्ट्रॉन्ग है। तो हम चाहते हैं कि आज इंडिया ही जीते।
पाकिस्तान की तरफ से अगर आपको एक प्लेयर चूज करना हो जिसने ओवर द इयर्स जो है या पिछले कुछ 5-6 मुकाबलों में भारतीय टीम को परेशान किया है, आपको लगता है कौन है वो?
शाहीन अफरीदी पहले ओवर के विकेट ले लेते हैं, हमारे लिए प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है। बस वो ये कीप लेना, जिनके हमें खेल लेंगे तो आगे इंडिया खेल जाएगी।
चलिए, बुमराह की भी वापसी हुई है, बुमराह पे भी बात कर लेते हैं, उनसे कितनी उम्मीदें? आयरलैंड में हमने देखा उनको, लेकिन यहाँ अब ओडीआई की बारी।
बुमराह आज अच्छा परफॉर्म कर लेंगे क्योंकि वो बहुत टाइम में फॉर्म में है, तो अच्छी बॉल फेंकने देखा आयरलैंड के, 2 विकेट लिए, तो आज भी अच्छा परफॉर्म करेंगे वो।
So as you can see, Nikhil, the fans here in Delhi are super excited. They all know that it is a clash between India and Pakistan, and the only thing which they want is Indian teams win.
Okay, Nitin, thank you so much for joining us live from Delhi and bringing us those voices of Indian fans. I can gauge from the excitement levels in their voices that they're all eagerly looking forward to this big India versus Pakistan encounter. Sunny Gavaskar still live with us. Sunny, we've just heard from the Pakistan captain Babar Azam as well, who said at the toss that had he won the toss, he would have also decided to bat first. I'm guessing a lot of that has to do with the fact that under lights, The ball tends to swing a lot here. We saw that in the Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh game. It was a low-scoring encounter, all right. It was a slowish pitch, all right. But we did see the fast bowlers get a lot of swing under the light. And because we are close to the mountain here, the air is much cooler here. Do you think all of those factors would have gone in that bat when the sun is out?
Yes. Not that the ball will swing a little bit less because of that, because, the quality of the new ball attack in both the teams is top class, world class. So I don't think they rely too much on the atmosphere. Clearly, yes, I think if it's overcast, it will probably mean that, the as far as the batters are concerned, sometimes they like to play in bright light, because bright light, you can see the ball that much better, even if it's a white ball. So I don't think that's going to be much of a difference, because both these new ball attacks are absolutely world class. So there's both the batters of both the teams will have to be watchful in those first 10 overs when the ball will be hard in you. But the two balls will be hard in you.
Okay. Oh, that's true. That's true. Now you get those 25 overs per side. We're still waiting for the playing 11 of the Indian team. Pakistan playing 11, we already know. They announced it on the eve of the game. Indian playing 11, we know what the expected playing 11 is going to be. You don't expect too many changes. So we'll have the playing 11 up on our screens as soon as we get to know exactly the 11 that Rohit Sharma has selected. But Sahi bhai, just on that subject, because Pakistan has made no changes, they've announced their 11 on the eve. It's the exact same team that played their first game versus Nepal. What does that signify to you? Considering the fact that Pakistan has been playing a lot of white ball cricket just leading into this game. They played that one game of Asia Cup, a series here in Sri Lanka versus Afghanistan. India, on the other hand, coming a bit cold, coming from a training camp, all right. But this entire team's not really played together when it comes to white ball cricket for some time now.
I don't think it makes too much of a difference. I think the fact that they've had a 15-day break, all the top players, they didn't go to Ireland. All the top players having a 15-day break is actually going to make them fresh and raring to go. And, it will mean that, they will be starting to peak at the right time. So I don't think that should make much of a difference. Yes, I think if you're in rhythm like Pakistan has been, then it always is a help, because you know what your form is, you know what your core combination can be. So that's totally understandable.
Okay, let's also tell you various facets of Indian team's training. Now, yesterday, both the Indian team and the Pakistan teams were training. I was there live at that training session, and there was a very rare sight that we got to see, the rare sight of both Pakistan team and Indian team practicing at the same time. In fact, they had the nets just next to each other. We saw visuals of Virat Kohli meeting a few Pakistan players as well. We'll try and get that report, try and show you those visuals that were shot here in the stadium yesterday while the two teams were training. Very fascinating pictures of the two teams training. So let's quickly take a look at that and tell you how the two teams geared up for this game.
Oh boy, so massive updates that we have had from Pallekele is that India have chosen to bat. So they think
what's even better? Babar Azam admitted that Pakistan would have also batted first.
They know something we don't know.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Oh boy, so it's I would say, very odd kind of a situation. 1 minute, I think we've got a bit of a sound issue at this point. But look at the team composition, and it's exactly the team that I had wanted to predict. And yes, I got it spot on for the first time.
I remember going with the same team, but I said they might go for Akshar with the third spin option. But no, they've gone for...
No. Akshar would have been a very lucky guess, because no, you're not playing Jadeja and Akshar together.
Which I think they might have actually played three spinners, but I mean, they don't have to use each help.
There is no variety. If you get Jadeja and Akshar,
they're the same spinners.
They're the same spinners, yeah, exactly.
So that is why I feel that it's the right team that has been taken. You're batting till number 8, and that's why Kuldeep also can hang in there. Kuldeep also. So 9, and then you've got 10 and 11 in Mohammad Siraj. So Prithvi Patnaik need not switch his TV off, because Siraj has been included.
And I think it had to happen for the very simple reason that whilst Shami does give you plenty of...
And we are into that of Shubman Virat as well as Rohit Sharma. You've got Shreyas Iyer in the team, the wicketkeeper batsman, as we had been reporting for a long time right now, was going to be Ishan Kishan. It is Ishan Kishan, your wicketkeeper batter. Then you've got Hardik Pandya, Ravindra Jadeja, no surprises there. Your second spinner, Kuldeep Yadav, no surprise there as well. Now, there was a question mark over whether India play 3 spinners or play 3 fast bowlers. So India have decided to play 3 fast bowlers. That means Akshar Patel hasn't made it. So your 3 fast bowlers, Jasprit Bumrah was definitely going to be there. Mohammad Siraj has made it. And Shardul Thakur is your 3rd fast bowler. The 4th fast bowler duty, of course, Hardik Pandya is going to fulfill those. But there's no Mohammad Shami. There is no Akshar Patel in the 11. And this was pretty much the 13 everyone was looking at. We've now zeroed in on the 11. The 11 that Indian captain, Rohit Sharma, has decided to go with. Sunny Gavaskar still live with us. Because of the match that we saw, that again I keep referring to it, the Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh game, that was completely spin-friendly conditions. So there was a school of thought that maybe if there is a place where you can play 3 spinners, it has to be here in Sri Lanka at Pallekele. The Indian team has not done that. What do you think could be the reasoning behind it? Either they've gone in with their best bowling lineup, is that the thought process, irrespective of the condition? Or do you think, no, the pitches also differ? What may have happened in one match in terms of the strip that was on offer could be very different to what is offered in this match, in the same ground, all right, but the conditions could be very different. And that is what this is signifying, the team selection. Sai bhai, can you hear me?
Yeah, I thought you were saying something. I didn't know you were asking me something.
No. Okay, so the question was,
it was such a long thing, I didn't understand.
India have not gone in with 3 spinners. They've gone in with... No problem. I'll ask you once again. I was updating with the playing 11, so I'll ask you that once again. Not a problem at all. We now know that the Indian team have gone with 3 fast bowlers in Shardul, Siraj and Jasprit Bumrah. There was a school of thought there that maybe going with 3 spinners, looking at that earlier game between Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. The Indian team haven't done that. What does that tell you about the conditions that will be on offer today?
Well, they've gone, I think, with an attack which they think that will work for them. We don't have to do what the other teams do. We've got to do what our team needs. So what Bangladesh does, or what Sri Lanka does, is completely out of the question. I think we have to now get to the situation where we focus on our team and not the opposition. So you pick the best team, what you think is the best team for the day. So by picking Shardul Thakur, who can get the ball to move around a little bit, what it does because of his batting ability, they've also added a little more depth to their batting. Clearly, yes, at number 9 or number 8, if you need Shardul Thakur's batting, then your top batters have not done the job. But I think this attack is perfectly capable, with Hardik Pandya also chipping in with some bowling. I think this attack is capable of using the conditions in their favor.
The other question was around Mohammad Shami, because if you pick it, as you said, you got to see what works best for your team. Forget about the conditions and how other teams are looking at it. If you were to look at India's best 5 bowlers, most would put Mohammad Shami there. He recently finished an IPL as the highest wicket taker. However, he still doesn't make the 11. Do you think it is Shardul's batting that goes in his favor and the balance that the Indian team is looking at? That's why Shardul gets that nod ahead of a Shami. Otherwise, Shami in most bowling attacks would be a top pacer.
Well, I think one of the things that you have to take into account is that Shami wasn't there in the West Indies for the one-day series, if I recall correctly. So I think that long break is probably the reason why they haven't given him a go in a big game like this. In a game against, and that's why they've taken Siraj, who's played well, who was in the West Indies, who bowled exceedingly well in the Test matches. Yes, he was also given a break from the one-day games, but he's played a lot more than the Mohammad Shami has, and therefore I think Siraj has got the nod over Mohammad Shami. Mohammad Shami, in case against Nepal, I'm pretty certain Mohammad Shami will come back in the team because you want to look at bowlers with some miles under their belt. Jasprit Bumrah, having played in Ireland, looking fresh, having not played for India for a long time, will be really ready to go. So yes, I think that is probably the reason why Shami has been left out. Like I said earlier on, Shardul Thakur and Hardik Pandya will probably bowl the fifth bowler's quota, between them. And Thakur is capable of stonking some runs at number 8. So I think that's why he's got the number.
Okay, Sai Gavaskar, thank you so much for giving that perspective of what is it and what is the thought process that India have gone through while picking this 11. And this probably at the moment seems like the best balanced 11 that the Indian team could pick. Now, this is live from Pallekele. Behind me, you could see a sea of supporters all heading inside the stadium. The good news is the toss has happened on time. The first ball will be bowled on time. Yes, it's cloudy, but it's not threatening to rain, as has been the case throughout this morning here in Pallekele. So good news coming your way. You're going to see a lot of cricket today. Maybe not a full 100 overs, but at least an official legal match. Sunny Gavaskar, thanks so much for joining us on this live broadcast. I'm afraid that's all the time that we have on our special program, Road to the World Cup, building up to that big India versus Pakistan game. But a reminder, keep tuning into India Today throughout the day, because we'll be bringing you live updates. We'll have a special show in the middle of the innings and, of course, a long one right at the end of the game. So we'll see you then. For the moment, Nikhil Naz signing off.
All right, we are back to the studio from Pallekele.
Yep.
I'm tense. I'm just tense because we're now, let's say, moments away from the first ball. So it's that tense. That's tension, let's say.
Excitement and nervousness.
Yeah,
yes.
Probably a more apt way of putting it.
Yeah.
But it's, let's say, like Rohit Sharma said yesterday, there are some good headaches to have. I think this is also good tension to have. You don't have these big matches come that often. And but again, quick thoughts from you guys in case I was, of course, late to join. But what do you guys have to say about Shami not being there? Did you
Expected.
Best move?
Yeah.
Expected.
I look at it differently. I'll tell you why. Because Sunny Ji, I remember saying yesterday that perhaps Ishan can be used as a floater or some, as a finisher, and you may not need him at all because that's how top heavy you are, and that's how good players you have, the quality players that you have. Right? If going by that logic, by the way, then you shouldn't have been in need or in search of somebody who bats at number 8 and then have a specialist bowler in Mohammad Shami, who, like Nikhil pointed out, got you so many wickets in the IPL and was in the running for the purple cap.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing, okay? India.
And by the way, at some point you have to bring him back, right? You are looking ahead at the World Cup as well.
I'll tell you why, okay? India are now going to copy. They want to copy other teams.
No, if you were copying Pakistan, you should have played your best 5 bowlers.
But they are your best 5 bowlers for one simple problem. This one simple problem the Indian cricket team has. And it's been a problem that's been there for 2 to 3 years. They are not confident about their own batting. Simple. And because, I think our top 7 cannot perform on the big day. Let us have even more buffer at number 8. This thing of number 8, we all said 2019 your number 4 is going to be a problem. 2023 your number 8 is going to be a problem.
Your number 5 will be a problem.
Yeah.
Number 5 anyway, forget it. Because I'll tell you for one reason.
Because it's already an unstated problem.
It was a problem. It was nothing new. But a new problem is your number 8. Because India are going to copy. Australia have number 8.
England have number 8.
South Africa have number 8. We also need to get a number 8.
I don't know if it's that or if it's the fact that the top order hasn't fired over the last 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, I think it's that.
Because you could see shades of that replicating or sort of reflecting in your 11 at the WTC final as well.
And in the end it turned out to be necessary, because were it not for Shardul's 50, you'd have lost a day before you did.
Exactly. Again, not trying to take anything away from Shardul, but I'm just trying to read into what the thought process has been like, let's say, over the last few months. That was a howler, let's be honest about it. It was something that, was being said back then, was pointed on the first hour by somebody like a Ricky Ponting, and then later on as well, in hindsight, many people pointed out, it could be a winning combination, that's not to say, but again, I don't quite like this approach wherein you're not really fielding your best 11 or your best 5 bowlers on the day.
This is your best 11. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Even leave aside the balance. If you drop a Shardul, you've taken away your most potent wicket taker in the middle overs. You need that wicket taker in the middle overs, otherwise it's all on Kuldeep Yadav. You need that wicket taker in the middle overs. And Shardul, the job he does is not the easiest job in the world. I'm no disrespect to a Shami or a Siraj, but it is much easier if you are a bowler like them to get wickets in the power plays than it is to do a job in the middle overs. Middle overs is very key.
See,
Otherwise,
I
you
understand.
can't pull it.
Shardul does give you a little bit extra, let's say, in the middle overs because he has the ability to roll his arm over and he can bowl those cutters as well. And when we know for a fact that he's got a knack of picking wickets in the middle overs, he's done well. He's in fact done better than a Mitchell Stark as well. If you go by numbers over the last 2.5 years, he's got about 37 wickets, 47 wickets. Exactly. So,
but it's also the general trend of having, a long tail and batting deep as well. I think that's what the Indian team is now going for.
But another problem, and one that I will actually talk about later on, is that truth be told, if I am batting till number 8, I want to see some more aggressive batting.
That's true.
Then don't be batting the old template style and say we need batting depth, because that's not how it works.
Look, it's a simple thing. Playing Akshar Patel at 8 made no sense. Because already you got Jadeja doing the same thing.
The same role.
Yeah.
Variety, you're not having any variety because somehow the Indian cricket team feels you don't need a wrist spinner.
A second wrist spinner.
I mean, a left-arm Chinaman, okay, that's
second
technical.
wrist
Yeah, you don't need a second wrist spinner, you don't need an off spinner. Off spinners are becoming obsolete in this template of the ODI era. Okay. Now, what did Sunil Gavaskar say? Like, because Shami did not play in the West Indies series. Siraj did play the tests but didn't play the ODIs because he had an ankle niggle.
Yeah.
Now, Siraj, what has been working for him in 2023? Better death bowling, better power play bowling.
Exactly, he's a 2D bowler in that sense, and if your power plays then is sorted with a Bumrah and Siraj, the same can be said about your depth.
Yep. Shardul in the middle and somewhat towards the fag end of the power play or at the fag start of the death overs, he can chip in. So basically,
and in the middle, then you have your two spinners.
There is a probability that Shardul may not bowl his entire quota. It may be shared between him and Pandya.
Him and Pandya.
In fact, Hardik, by the way, is your third seamer in the power plays.
Yeah.
Someone who can give you that option. They might save more Bumrah overs for the death.
You wanted part-time off spinners in the 2011 World Cup. You had Raina, you had all the others.
Virendra Sehwag.
Maybe in 2023, 12 years later in the new era, you will need two bowling all-rounders. Pace bowling all-rounders in Hardik and Shardul.
You need that.
Maybe,
It's
but then
a
again, see,
welcome
you're caught between a rock and a hard place. Why? Because between Akshar and between Shardul, we are not debating on the bowling quality. We are debating on the batting quality. Who will contribute more with the bat? And primarily, Shardul's role is not scoring hundreds for fun. His primary role is taking wickets. Akshar's role is primarily to take wickets and contain. But we are debating on who will bat better. That's the conundrum that India is facing at this point.
Unlike what we've seen from the other teams, let's say, and the other match that we saw just about 2 nights back. So India will go in with 2 spinners only.
Yeah.
We don't have a third spinning option. Pakistan, by the way, do have that. They have Iftikhar. So India have just 10 or 20 overs of spin to look forward to, and not an over more.
I mean, you do have actually, you have a Shreyas Iyer, but are you going to risk him?
You have Virat Kohli also by that logic.
No, but Kohli has
he's a quick bowler.
Yeah, quick, right arm quick.
Right arm quick.
In Pakistan, at least you've got Usama Mir.
But Usama Mir isn't.
But he didn't play. He didn't play.
He played in the Afghanistan series.
Yeah, but he was never going to play.
Never going to play because again you've got Shadab and Nawaz plus Iftikhar. So third option over there.
It's like I'm telling you, you are wanting Shreyas something. It's like Pakistan operating with Fakhar Zaman.
Exactly.
This is a problem that could, Tilak Verma could possibly solve if you're looking for.
Not played in ODI.
I know.
Not played in ODI again. And especially in a game like this, you don't expect him to make his debut. Perhaps at a later stage, maybe.
Yeah, after maybe a few.
Maybe not actually, because you know what? You are now looking at consolidating your 11. That is what you're looking at the moment. It is, courtesy all those prayers and everything that we've been doing, that you probably have managed to assemble your 11 that you were wanting this whole while.
Actually, no, that's not true. So you don't have KL, no?
True, exactly. So you need more prayers to actually have your wished 11, let's say. So even that's not completed at the moment. I don't know if doling out another cap is what
Not
will
the
be on the
best
mind of
If
Team
you are
India.
still experimenting now,
Exactly. Then that's
Then
it.
it's a
Forget
problem.
it.
It's a problem.
forget about the World Cup prospects or even Asia Cup. India may very well win, but remember, Asia Cup success is not a guarantee to win even your World Cup title. It happened in 2010.
2018, remember?
2018.
It happened in 2010 when under MS Dhoni you won the Asia Cup ODI format, I'm saying, and then you went on to win the World Cup in 2011.
But that was MS Dhoni.
Yeah, under MS Dhoni. But again, this had to be your ideal playing 11, which I had focused on twice yesterday. You can check out the video. Like pace versus spin in Pallekele.
Did you pick the same 11?
I picked the exact same 11 because I'll tell you why. Pace 278 wickets, but the flip side is economy is 5.63. Okay, average in Pallekele if you look at it. Spinners 193 wickets, but economy of 4.09. Now, looking at your spin options, Pakistan went in with their 5 best. There was no debate on whether they'll get Osama Mir, whether they'll get Mohammad Wasim Jr. Remember, Wasim Jr. is a like for Naseem.
Naseem Shah.
Yep. And if you want to look at your other pacer, who's Haris Rauf is not there, maybe you will get this guy. Oh man, who's that other?
Who?
Fahim Ashraf.
Fahim Ashraf.
You'll get Fahim in place of Haris.
But their depth is next level, man.
Next level, but again, their spin bowling depth
There's no depth. If one of
except Osama Mir.
And I'm sorry, if Osama Mir is their depth.
That's it.
Yeah.
Even for India, there is no depth. You created that no depth out of your own making.
Yeah, by not selecting a UC channel.
Yeah, but then I think the decision to bat, I think it's a good move because you're not getting dictated by the conditions and the weather. And anyway, see, Pallekele will not have that much of weather and DLS kind of a situation. It won't. Hardly it does unless it absolutely belts down everywhere of central Sri Lanka, then Pallekele might get impacted. But in the past, it's never happened. So that is why best decision is bat first, put the total, and remember under lights, Bumrah and Siraj could get the ball talking.
Exactly. Yeah. You saw how much swing Shaheen was getting last time around. That was in Multan.
Yeah, but again, if you look at in this game, I mean in this venue, Shariful and Tuskin were getting good bounce and swing.
Tuskin, yes, I remember.
Tuskin and Shariful, they are kind of hit the deck bowlers, and this is a pretty even wicket which will offer both pace and spin.
And this, by the way, is a different strip.
Yeah,
It is a different, and one thing interestingly, and that's how, and that's why rather the toss assumes a lot of importance over here, because as Nikhil was showing yesterday, even if you were to, go, and Nikhil had a sense of the turf because he was right there. He was right there at the ground, and what he shot, very interestingly, check that video out, because, once he rubbed his hand on the grass, there was hardly any dew. And that's around 9 in the evening, there was hardly any dew on his hand. So winning the toss becomes all the more important because it sort of nullifies the dew factor. Then if the conditions are to stay the same today as we saw on the eve of the match, it's a good toss to win for
you
India.
will never get dew in Pallekele because it's a mountain
very dry.
area and it is quite dry as well. And second, because there is a wind factor that's always blowing there in Pallekele, so getting dew there, it's very difficult. But again, GGK, okay, we are all debating on Virat's position before Virat at 4 is doomed. If Rohit goes early, then difficult for India, all on Rohit.
No.
Are we going to see Virat at 4? Okay, don't go by the team sheet that does.
But the team sheet and what the broadcaster, by the way,
shows what
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So the broadcaster's gone exactly with the team sheet that's been shared by the BCCI, which, by the way, says, and that is not, let's say, set in stone, the team sheet that you receive, because see, 5 and 6 can often, 4, 5, interchange. But going by that, Ishan Kishan has been slotted at number 3.
Yeah.
Again, it will be up for a huge debate if India actually see Virat bat at number 4.
Okay, so
but first ball coming up, Shaheen Afridi goes for an in-swinger. Didn't quite get on the stumps, but again, a good ball to begin with.
See, Shaheen didn't get swing. It was just a Yorker straight up, but then if he gets 136, just about 4-5 kilometers more and he gets that in swing, Rohit is in trouble. Because 16 years of playing, he has never sorted that problem out.
Of the incoming delivery.
He's always got no problem. So, Shaheen,
I think there was a hint of movement.
It's just that he would like to bring the line a little inwards.
Yes.
This time around was, let's say, the 4th stump line.
He's operating from the Hunasgiri end, and that's why. It was a 4.
It's
and
a 4.
As I mentioned in that Multan game, they did spray it around.
Yeah, because obviously, if you're looking for swing, you tend to be a little
foolish.
Yeah.
You tend to be a little foolish, and that's what again Shaheen tried on the second ball as well.
I would have rather started Shaheen from the other end. not from the Hunasgiri end.
Reason
Because-
being?
Reason being, he will get much more swing purchase from the other end. Wind. Crosswind.
Yeah.
So then in that case, you've got a.
Ooh, it was chance.
It was a chance.
It was not a. It was
Very
full
good
chance.
Yeah, they had the fielder place.
They had the fielder for exactly that shot.
Who's the fielder? Is
I
it
don't
Shadab?
Normally, he's one of their
best?
Yeah, but I don't think that.
I don't think it is Shadab.
Fakar Zaman it was.
Oh, it's a
tall fellow, by the way.
Yeah, Fakar Zaman dropped Virat Kohli on 0.
Oh my goodness.
That one came in.
No, he's not. No, don't.
No, don't do that. No,
don't even
don't
think
do.
about it. No,
Babar knows it. Babar knows it. It's high.
There is good bounce, by the way, at this, on this trip.
It's like
Very good bounce.
I think he'll go for
They
it.
will.
They
It's
won't
going
take
over
it.
anyways. It's hitting
Yeah.
the top of his pad. I
Yeah.
don't think it's
Alright.
it's not even the knee roll. It's well above the knee
well
roll.
above the
So,
knee
yeah.
roll. So that's why. So this was the impact.
Ah,
This
that was-
came back in.
Impact, no, but again, you probably needed half a stump to sort of
And
knock it
this
off.
came back in off the seam. So Shaheen's not relying on movement through the air. He's relying on through the seam.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just had to be a bit more fuller, like how Amir was. Amir pitched it fuller in that oval game. Rohit was just caught on the crease at that time. So
They only have one slip. Interesting.
yeah. And again onto the leg side, but yep.
So
Yeah,
two balls stringed on the leg side, and probably last two balls. That's why. Have you taken enough comments?
Yeah, I think I took GGK's comment. We had taken
Let's
the
go all
super
the way
chat.
down. We'll take a
Yeah,
couple more.
we can
Yeah.
take a couple more. So, yep, Rohit just needs another 159 runs to get to 10,000. Wow, that will be good. So, Dex, what did Dex say? India 340 for 7. Pakistan 170 for 10 or 200. Kuldeep 6 for. They're not power and neutralize. Maybe.
Yeah, I think Kuldeep is going to be very key because
Yeah.
Chinaman is such a rare commodity.
Yeah.
And we know he's operating in a different plane.
This we took. Prithvi Patnaik.
Oh.
See, again, he doesn't move his feet, and that's why left armer, he always struggles in that particular way. So,
Prithvi
just needs
Patnaik's-
a bit of inward movement.
We've already taken this one.
This
Oh, yeah, we've taken this
Yeah,
one.
it's not common.
He'll not switch over Steve because
Yeah, because
Siraj
Siraj
is
is there.
Okay, so
Last ball, then we'll.
Yep.
But oh dear goodness.
Yes.
Oh,
Shardul
inside
is the
edge.
most lucky cricketer ever.
No, I don't like this sort of a narrative. The guy's worked hard to get where he is. Good wicket taker in the middle overs. Gives you a bit of batting. Lucky cricketer is very unfair. Lucky is very unfair.
Well, I'm looking forward to this contest, Shubman versus Naseem.
Oh yeah.
Two superstars in the coming.
Two youngsters.
And especially more than Shaheen, I rate Naseem higher because I think he's got that X factor.
Okay, last ball of the first over coming up, and it's a wide. So another. But
that means it's reloaded.
before the first over sort of ends, quick time predictions as far as the score goes.
Oh.
Interesting.
India are making 280 and they're winning it.
I go 268 and they win it.
285 India win it.
I'll go India 279,
India win it. Come on.
and I hope India wins.
279, 80 and 85. That's very fine margin.
Very fine margin.
Yeah.
So yeah, see, I had given Pakistan a slight edge because they had played a lot more, and that's why that will be the thing. So first over 6 runs, and all in the range of 135 to 140 kmph. That's
Shaheen
Shaheen's
is not
speed.
quite
Getting his line right,
Yeah.
yeah.
not warmed up yet.
That was happening in the
Because
Nepal
4
game
of his
as
6
well.
deliveries were down the leg side.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jax, Pallekele backdrop was indeed fantastic. I mean, you have to go to the stadium to see it. It's a treat. And even Hambantota is a magnificent stadium, but nothing beats Gaul. Nothing beats Gaul. It's a treat to go there and just see a cricket match at Gaul. And I had the privilege to go to all the 4. I couldn't go to Dambulla, unfortunately. But RPS, SSC, PSS and Gaul, all those 4 within the vicinity of Colombo and Gaul. Fantastic. It is a Pallekele too, but in Pallekele it's a small town, not much of a development there. The development is much more in Kandy at this point in time. So, okay, but why is Maharashtra is facing a deficit 60% rainfall? Despite all the rain, Maharashtra is still facing a deficit. My goodness. Monsoon's wave. The World Cup will put even more stress on water. Well, Surya, that is a situation that you all have to deal with because already the venues are sorted. Nobody has raised a complaint. Oh, Maharashtra swing a crisis. Let's switch matches. So let's see. So predictions are done. We are all set for a blockbuster from Naseem Shah in his first over bowling to Rohit. Good line.
Extra bounce for Naseem.
Yep. So 2 slips in place. We'll be back towards the mid innings. Enjoy the game. And from me, Harshad, Gargi, and share it. Bye bye. Enjoy this encounter.